Hey everyone, Caront here, welcoming you back to Tales of the Abyss. In the last episode, we finished up side quest stuff in Batical and then headed in here into the abandoned factory, where we picked up our sixth and final party member of the game, and I just skipped right past her, Natalia Luzu Kimlatska Landvaldir, who is a master of Landvaldir style archery and has some healing on the side, which will be nice. In this episode, we're going to continue heading through the abandoned mine and pick up everything we need to pick up and do all the puzzles we need to do, and likewise, and so on and so forth, and ad nauseum, etc., etc., etc. Like fighting you. Okay, now the cobalt chamber we just picked up, you can use in the phone slots. The cobalts are the blue ones, so I don't find myself using those very much. But if you want to use them on some of your techs, you can use them to increase especially the push and lift of your attacks. I'm not a big fan of doing that too much, because if you do that, I mean, if the enemy goes flying, that is one thing, but if it pushes them down faster or sends them away from you further, it actually cues their invisibility or their sort of invincibility type frames. I'm not a big fan of those. Those are just kind of a pain in the butt. So I don't use the cobalt chambers very often, but if you want to, obviously be my guest. We have, I believe, our last new enemy of this dungeon here, the Basilisk. And the Basilisk actually is weak to wind, as you will see when we bring this up here. There you go. Resists fire, but is weak to wind, so that's pretty good, I guess. Let me go and get the freaking bat out of the way first, because that's annoying more than anything else. Or that works too. You can do it, Jade. I appreciate it. All right, let me overlimit here, just so I can get myself some invincibility of my own, so to speak. We can't really do, like I said, can't do much with the overlimit yet aside from that, but as we get closer or higher up in levels, we will see far more uses for that. Well, now that we've got all the enemies out of the way here, not really a lot to do aside from just going through this place. This drum stinks. It's full of oil. It looks flammable. Hint, hint! To light that sucker up. Now we can flip the switch, and that will open up, I believe, this elevator here if you want to go down to the bottom, and this may give us the ability to pick up that stuff that we had loosed earlier, or we could just create the ramp. That was close. Some of those pipes are loose, huh? We already knew that, but thanks. Alright, I decided to go ahead and take out both of those enemies on screen because they were right together, so I figured why not. Now we go through here, and we start getting into more of the puzzly aspect of this session, which is, you notice the oil dripping down there. That's the same kind of drum we set fire to before, isn't it? Yes. I wonder if we can set fire to it and light up the area. Well, you didn't really need to actually tell me that, but it does helpfully put you in the right position. Well, I was going to say it puts you in perfect position to use Mute Fire and light the thing up. That opens up access to the rail car over here, so we actually were better off going this direction first. I don't believe there's anything else around here. No, alright, let's go ahead and go back. And of course, we'll need to make our way back up from there, and we'll run across yon enemies again, but they're fairly easily skippable as it comes to those sorts of deals. The one thing that bugs me is that treasure that I missed earlier. I don't remember if I just missed access to it or if we can go back and get it just yet. I don't quite recall, which is kind of bugging me. I don't think I'll go for it right now, though. It's not overly important, and if we need to get it later, I'll go back and get it later. There'll be plenty of opportunities, really. But for now, before we actually hit that air cart, let's go ahead and head down the ladder here. Although I know it's hard to see, but we can do that. And then we head over this way, and we get another barrel that you'll notice we can light up, but not quite yet. We also do get another friggin' ghost. And, well, not too much on that. But really, that's all we can do down here. We'll be able to work with this a little bit later, but not quite yet. So let's head back up and go ahead and take the air cart that opened up, because, well, there's really not much else to do at this point. But before we actually get it going, of course, we have to hit the switch so that it will actually work. And you notice there is a treasure over there as well, and I actually need to go back and go down the ladder to get that. But before I do that, well, actually we can get that on the way back if we need to. Let's go over here, and we can't hit that switch because it's supposedly too dang dark. But there are a couple things we can do while we're here. We can do this, which is... this is an oil supply machine. They must have used this to pump oil throughout the factory. So what we gotta do is talk to this thing and then start just basically moving it around. Oil is now flowing through the pipe to the left, which is the one that we just looked at earlier. So let's go ahead and take the rail car back, and we can pick up the treasure while we're there. So like I said, there will be opportunities, at least to get this treasure anyway. And once we do that, that will actually light up the area over on the right side so that we can hit that switch that was over there that the game would not let us do since it was too dark. Alright, now this treasure over here, hello, is going to open up some oil actually, and then give us the ability to get an apple gel. Yay! Not that we need it all that much, but still, it certainly doesn't hurt. And now, head back over to this way, and we should be able to go ahead and take care of lighting this thing up. I don't think the apparition will have respawned because we killed it, but I don't know, it's certainly possible. Come on. There we go. Okay, well, thanks for letting that work for me. Yes, I know, I already told them about the switch. I don't need to watch you tell me about the switch that I already know about. I understand why the game does this, because they want to make sure that you know all the aspects of the puzzle that you need to be solving. But I think in this dungeon it goes a teensy bit overboard when it comes to a lot of it, because they just drill it into your head over and over and over again. Alrighty, I believe we've already been over there, so let's just head over to the switch that we can now actually see to press, and that will open up the elevator over here. Alright, now you can go one of two ways, really, either is fine, but before you go either of those ways, go down here, because we have more treasure, which is always good. Even if it does fall down there, that's not that big of a deal, just waltz over here and grab it. And it is a lot of money, which we could definitely use. We're actually up to, you notice, a little or almost 7,500 gold, which isn't too bad for this point in time. I've got a little bit more now than I thought I would. I'm going to actually go up this elevator first. I think it's better if we go up than if we enter in the downward path for the moment, because there's some more puzzle stuff that we need to be doing in this room. And we will eventually need to take both paths to do it, but for now, let's go ahead and stick to the upper path, where we find another basilisk. Get away from me, basilisk. Oh well. Dadgummit. I may have actually forgotten to turn some of... No, I didn't. Okay. I was thinking at the end of the last battle, I might have forgotten to turn some of Tyr's abilities back on from the Sword Dancer fight. Turns out I was incorrect, but still. Okay, one of the things you want to do when you're going up to the north is go ahead and lower this ladder. It makes it easier to get from one section to the other, and if you had gone south first, you wouldn't have been able to do it. You run through here, and we get some oil opening up, or supposedly opening up. So what you'll want to do, though, if you want to get that going, you're going to have to reverse the flow of the oil again. We can do that in just a moment when we go down to the bottom. For now, let's go ahead and pick up this Panacea bottle and head over this way, where we can find another ladder we can put down for one. And you also see a green healing point over there, which I will actually go ahead, I'm not going to save yet, but I will go ahead and utilize that because, if you'll notice, we kind of need some recharging, so we could definitely use that. Thank you very much. Once we head back down this way, what we need to do is mostly, well, watch a cutscene about the barrel. This drum's empty. I bet we could move it. Yes, actually, yes we can, and that is part of the dynamic that we're going to need to be doing in here, is to push this all the way off of the platform and then move it forward and around from there, because what we're ultimately wanting to do, if it will let me, there we go, is we got to push this barrel. You see where that hole in the fence is down there? We've got to actually push the barrel through it so that the oil that is not yet flowing down there can actually get to it. It's a little tricky from a perspective standpoint because it's hard to see exactly where you would need to go to actually push this through, but it's not too tough. It's just trying to reconcile one point to the other. We dropped the drum down there, but now what? Yeah, let's explore the area a little more. Yes, let's check back over the way we came, too. We're going back the way we just came? What a pain. Like I said, it drills this stuff into your head in this dungeon. Not sure why it's so hand-holding. Maybe because this is the first area where you really have some major puzzle solving, rather. So they just want to make certain that you know everything that's going on. But since we've pretty much gotten everything taken care of with that, we can go back here and reverse the flow of the oil that we had earlier in the stage. Once that gets reversed, we should be good to go as far as finishing the puzzle up. And that's not the right one, Eric. Let's go to this one. So now that oil is flowing through the pipe to the right, which it ever so helpfully shows us, thank you, we know that already, we can then go on and officially finish things up. But in order to get the oil flowing into the pipe, I believe we have to go back up here and actually trigger that floor panel again. Well, not floor panel, to trigger that loose pipe. So it is a little bit more running around, but not too terribly much. Just pretty much going through here, and then we should be good to go on that, I believe. Alright, oil from the pipe has dripped down to the drum below. The oil drum we dropped filled up with oil. Yes, the game just told us that. Okay, so it felt the need to tell us that twice. Well then, alright. Now what, pray tell, might you ask, that does, or what role does that play? Well, all we really need to do to find that out is go back down and head over through here, and then we should be able to get to that drum relatively easily, although, honestly, you could really go in either direction and make it that way. This one just involves a little bit more ladder climbing, which apparently in this dungeon is Luke's favorite activity. And then just run over through here, and you notice the oil dripping there. This is going to be a little bit trickier of a fire incident. Of course, I am pretty terrible at it anyway, as far as the timing and the directions and everything go. Dang it, Luke. Nah. That, like, I don't know why the targeting for fire is so difficult. I don't quite understand it myself, but once you get it taken care of, and, well, it's not going to let me take care of it, is it? But once you do get it taken care of, that's going to open up the final portion of, there we go, of this dungeon, which is that switch right up there. Now it's best for us to go ahead and go back the other way and make sure, before you go too much forward, make sure that everything's squared away in terms of items. That one item I left behind, we will be back in this abandoned factory later, so I'll probably grab it then. It's not going to be overly important at that time. But for now, I am actually going to go ahead and save, because this battle coming up has the potential to be really tough. I think with my... Well, I was going to say, I think I should be okay levels-wise. One thing I am going to do, actually, is I'm going to switch tier back in for Natalia, because the focus in this battle needs to be more on healing than it does on distant attacks. The boss we're going to be fighting, well, we're not going to have a hard time hitting him, and he's not particularly mobile. But we need to emphasize more the healing that we can have and the effects from that than necessarily the actual, I guess, the length and the range that we would have on our attacks.
Something smells.
It smells greasy.
Maybe it's from when the factory was running. No, it's too strong for that.
Wait, I hear something. Is something there?
I don't hear anything.
No, there's definitely something here. A monster?
Look out!
Welcome to the Abaddon, which is a rather nasty looking thing. Go ahead and pull up its stats here. You notice it has really high physical defense, slightly less high magic defense, and a pretty good amount of HP, so we're going to be wailing on this thing for a while. Now, by and large, you want to go the old sword dancer strategy to some degree, although it's not going to be as necessary. Ah, darn it, why did it cut off the combo at that point? I was hoping I could go for a 50-hit combo. You notice also, that thing casts magic, it casts it really fast, and it can hit you with negative gate without warning. So you'll want to be very careful, and I hit that dang magic invalid thing a little too late. But yeah, you notice that you want to be wailing on this guy constantly. Oh, wow, okay. Never mind, we took off his protective covering. That'll make it much more vulnerable. So yeah, just wail on this thing and try to make sure that it doesn't get the chance to really attack you. And if it doesn't, you should be okay. Except for the bug parade. Alright, oh, quit with that. Let me actually go ahead and overlimit here. Oh, we got it down to $5 grand already, so we're not too badly off, actually. Just as long as it doesn't really get the chance to attack us too heavily, or do that. Come on, all right, we've almost got it. Good, we're doing fine. All we just need to do, hit it a couple more times, and it's gone. And apparently, so was Guy's TP, if I read it correctly. So we win, and we get another stat boosting item, Lavender. We end up getting a new, oh good, we get a new ad skill for Luke, which I believe may up his number of attacks. I'll have to check that in a second.
What the hell was that thing?
It's not one I've seen around here before. The inside looked like a spider.
Well, it's hardly surprising that an abandoned factory has a few spiders, but...
The oil it was feeding on may have caused a mutation due to phonon activity.
Tear?
Yes?
Thank you. You saved me. I'm sorry for the trouble I caused to you and everyone.
It's all right.
No, it's not. Don't drag us down, Natalia. By the way, where's this sewage facility?
I imagine it's down below.
Or it could be right in front of your face.
Hey, is that an emergency exit?
Let's take a look.
But before you do that, let's look at the skit. And then let's go ahead and look at the new ad skill that we picked up for Luke. And it is... Okay, no, it's not special attack, or it's not an increased attack. But it does help us defensively, so that's good. Let's see, the item in question is a new one. It's the Lavender, which raises physical attack. I'm going to give that actually to Annis, because Annis is much more of a fighter than she is anything else, and she's got the lowest stats of everybody, so might as well. Now, you can go back and save if you'd like, but it's not overly necessary. What instead you can do is walk out this door and, well, get ready, guys. We're about to have one of the big revelations of Tales of the Abyss when we walk out this door. So, let's go.
Okay, if we lower the ladder there, we should be able to get outside.
Yes, Master. Once we get out of here, it's on to Cassidonia.
Cassidonia lies across the desert. There should be an oasis midway, so we'll stop there to rest.
Guy, you head down first. Catch me if I slip.
You're telling me to do that knowing full well that I can't, right?
I need you to get over your phobia, or we'll have problems once Luke and I are married. Luke prefers much younger, cuter girls, don't you, Luke? You can call off that silly engagement anytime. Excuse me? What?
Luke, you're despicable.
What, like this is my fault?
It's nice to see you all getting along so well.
Are you blind?
Nobody is very sarcastic.
Ash, Ion takes priority right now.
I know! Aren't you the ladies' man?
Not sure why the grass there looks so weird.
He looks like me.
What does this mean?
By the way, they took Ion and left.
Oh, I let them get away.
Regardless, we've now encountered the 6 god generals. The decoy is a failure.
Wouldn't we be better off returning to Batical and going by ship?
It would be a waste of time.
Why?
Father still doesn't trust Malkuth. He'll have sealed the port against invasion once he dispatched the decoy.
Let's go by land and search for Ion. If Ion were to die, it could affect this entire peace effort.
That's right. Please, search for Ion, even if it's while you're doing something else. Please!
It's your decision, Luke. Will we search for Ion as we go by land? Or will we turn over Natalia to His Majesty and have him unseal the port?
You can't do that. Luke, you know what I mean.
Yeah, everyone shut up. Why am I the one deciding anyway?
Well, you're the one in charge, aren't you?
You really are obnoxious. We go by land. We'll have all sorts of trouble if we don't take Natalia along.
Ion, where could they have taken him?
The land ship was headed east from here. That's the direction of the oasis.
We were planning on stopping there too. Luke, you'll chase after them, won't you?
Yeah. That guy who looked like me, they called him Ash. Man, that was creepy.
Now, I will mention at this point in the game, this is not anything that is wrong with my emulator or my copy of the game. This is actually a game issue itself. The music, for whatever reason, will glitch out sometimes, so just be aware of that. But for now, we have discovered that Luke and Ash look almost exactly alike. The question, of course, is why? We don't know the answer to that yet. We will find out in due time, and actually not that far away, but we will not find out yet. Now, I believe there is actually a search point that you could find, because this is the road to Batical, if you take it. There's a search point that you can actually find down through here, if I'm not mistaken. The camera will let me actually do stuff, but I actually don't think I'm going to worry about it too much. Well, there was a bit of a silver lining coming out of that battle. Tyr actually learned a new art, and it is Healing Circle, which will come very much in handy in, well, all the time. Now, I don't know why. Well, I do know why the party got mixed up. But now we are back to the original party. I think I'm going to keep it that way for a little bit. Now, what we want to do from here, since I can't seem to figure out exactly where that save point or where that search point is, let's go ahead and follow the road through here, because from here we will make our way into the desert. And that's pretty much where we need to go at the moment. Now, if you want to take the road, that's fine. At some point the road is pretty much going to die off and you'll just go waltzing into the desert. Now, there is a search point over there, but you notice there's also a ledge in the way. We can't get to that one yet. There is another search point, though, in the desert that will prove very valuable to us. And I'll go ahead actually and introduce these enemies while I'm here, because we are going to be fighting many of them. They are the Rustlets, basically the next iteration of your annoying bird enemies in Tales of the Abyss. Oh, I don't like the bird enemies in this game. I don't like them. They're annoying as all get out. And there's so many of them in a group that you can't pin them down. But these are fairly, these aren't too terribly tough to deal with, although they are going to cause some problems if they keep blocking away at that. All in all, though, not terrible.
Get out of my base.
Oh, Natalia learned Overlimit. Nice, so she's up to level 15. That's good. I think we are at 19 or 20 if I'm not mistaken. Nah. Oh, we're at 20, okay, yeah. A teensy bit higher than I thought we'd be at this point, but not too far off. Now, one thing I will mention before we go into the oasis here, if you're moving around in the desert, I would try not to avoid encounters. If an enemy comes at you, you'll probably want to just go ahead and charge it. Otherwise, you're going to get into a lot of trouble. Well, or you'll get into a lot of surprise encounters, most notably. Alright, so let's go ahead and head into this oasis, where we actually have another side quest item that we can do after the scenes. Welcome to the Desert Oasis. And some really nice music, too.
Answer me! Answer me!
What the hell? Luke, is it those headaches again?
Headaches?
Ever since he was kidnapped, he'll occasionally get headaches, or sometimes even hear voices.
Answer me, you drink!
Who the hell are you?
You know who I am. You look just like me.
Ash!
Where do you think you're going, idiot? Don't blame me if something happens to Ion.
Where are you?
The Zal ruins. Though I doubt Drek like you can make it here.
Luke, are you all right? Master, do you feel sick?
Hold on, Luke.
Hearing imaginary voices again?
I doubt that was just my imagination.
You said something about Ash. Did you mean that Oracle Knight?
The voice I heard was definitely Ash's. He said he was with Ion in the Zal ruins.
Ion's there?
The Zhao ruins? From 2,000 years ago?
Where are they?
I'm afraid I don't know. I'd be most grateful if the leader of this mission would find them for us.
You really like to be a jerk, don't you?
Not at all. I'm so good-natured and honest, it almost hurts.
Colonel, please stop teasing Luke. Luke, let's ask the people here in the oasis.
Right.
So welcome to the Desert Oasis for all of 2 screens. Now, if you talk to this guy here, you can basically rest at the end, so to speak, by drinking the water there, and you get a skid along with it, which is nice. But that's really about all there is to that. We can talk to people here that tell us where the Zal ruins is. It's not really hard to find. You will notice we have water here, and there actually also is a treasure that you can get here by Mew attacking a tree. We don't have Mew attack yet, though, which we will have it soon. So remember to come back here if you want to pick up that treasure chest. Go in here and talk to this gentleman way up to the north, and we find G, or G, I guess, the master that Pear was talking about. I'm G. May I help you? Pear sent me. My name's Guy Cecil. You're Guy? Ah, I see. I heard the details from Pear. I understand the situation. This old man sure gets excited. Haha, yeah. Well then, G, Pear told me you'd teach me something that would be useful for my sword fighting technique. Ah, I see. Then I shall pass my arcane sword art unto you, Guy. My apologies, but this transfer of arts is done one-on-one. Could I ask the others to leave? Why? Luke, don't be stubborn. Natalia's right. Let's go. I'm so glad to see you safe and sound. Alright, so we get Hod Citizen Registry, which doesn't seem like it'll really be worth anything, but you'll see it does come into play later. So, did you learn that arcane art? No, the arcane arts in my fighting style are passed down by word of mouth. I won't have it complete until I find the members of the Arcane Arts Council and receive it from them. Looks like next up is Kaitsur. Correct. The members of the Arcane Arts Council are now scattered throughout the world. If you can seek them out and completely fill in that registry I gave you, I believe you will eventually be able to learn the arcane art. Work hard, young one. Huh, your fighting style's a lot of work. Now that you mention it, what style is that anyway? Our sword is a secret sword. We cannot speak of the details to outsiders. Please forgive me. Sorry, Luke. That's just how it is. Right. Okay, well, that was very cryptic and all. But that's pretty much all that we need to do here, by and large. So go ahead and leave. And there is one more thing I want to show you before we finish up this episode. If it will let me out. See, like I said, the music drifts in and out, depending on where you are. It can actually, this music's really nice, so I don't mind it a bit. You notice this last save point up here. Let me fight these basilisks. Or they could be a different type of basilisk, the sand fangs. Let me go ahead and point these guys out. But pretty much, same thing as the basilisks that we fought in the abandoned factory, except just a bit more powerful. Okay, well, good job. Good job, Jade. I didn't think you'd be learning anything in this battle, but that works. Let's see. All right. Oh, good. All right.
You're no match for us.
All right, so let me see if I can make my way to the get my way to the search point, because I want to show you guys this and hopefully not lose too much more time before we find it. This search point here is very valuable to a lot of stuff that you want to do, especially weapons-wise, because hopefully I'll be able to show you, pick this up here, but the search point items you can get from here include, well, I didn't find it here, but include an item called Neva Metal. You would be able to find it in, actually, the area here where it stores all the trade goods and such. It is actually at this point, and I will go ahead and do this on camera to show you that I am. It is at this point that I'm going to switch the battle difficulty over to hard, because the weaponry that you can pick up in this make the game very, very easy if you leave it on normal difficulty. There is also a title that I want to get on hard difficulty, and this is the best time to start getting it in my mind, because once you get the weapons that you can get out of this, then normal battles generally become pretty easy. The boss battles, though, are where there is going to be, there's going to be some rage on my part, so just fair warning. But I'm going to go ahead and leave things off here, and next time on Tales of the Abyss, I will have done some grinding, because I want to go ahead and get enough trade goods to make weapons for most of my characters, which I can't make weapons for all of them, but I want to make weapons for most of my characters, and I want to be prepared enough as when we go in and we fight the boss battle in the Zal Ruins, which we will have one, sort of spoiler alert, that I should be able to handle it with hard difficulty. So, go ahead and keep the number 93 in mind, because we're going to be doing 256 battles in hard mode, so it's going to get us to about 350 by the time we're finished. But thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see y'all later.